Joey, a warm welcome to Bristol Rovers. You must be delighted to be here.
Yeah, the minute obviously I started speaking to the club, I know they're in a precarious situation, not where everyone wants them to be, but I remember the atmosphere in the games that we played at the Mem, and obviously the size of the club and the ambition of everybody involved. It was for me the logical next step on my pathway as a young aspiring coach.
What excites you about this role? What kind of ambitions have you set yourself for your time in charge?
I would, firstly, priority is survival. That's the key, and you can't really get too far ahead of yourself. But when you see, what's gone before, and the fact that they could get 40,000 to Shrewsbury in the playoff final. There's not many teams outside the top tier or top two tiers in English football that could do that. And when I was speaking to Hill, I was saying, that's got to be the ambition, because that means we're either pushing for a promotion via the playoff, or we're in a cup competition. But for me, the ability to mobilise an enormous fan base that's been starved of success over a long period. I think back to the first time I knew Bristol Rovers when they almost dumped Liverpool out the FA Cup. It must have been about 91, 92. I remember the Carl Saunders scored against Grobler, and he's got them to a replay, and as an Evertonian, obviously anything negative towards Liverpool, so I was a Bristol Rovers fan, or Rovers fan, from a distance, hoping that they would dump Liverpool out the FA Cup. So you see the atmosphere in the stadium then. So it's not something that's just come recently. It's a well-supported club that, as I say, is yet to taste the success that no doubt its supporters are absolutely desperate for.
This morning you met the players, you met the staff, you had your first session with them. What were your first impressions, and how much of those impressions can you get from watching from the outside, watching games online? Yeah,
it's we were really pleased, really surprised as well. I thought you'd be coming into a group and there might be a few people who were beaten down because of the results profile, and there might be a few people who were feeling sorry for themselves because they've just come out of a defeat at the weekend. But as can always happen when there's a regime change and new people come in with new ideas, the lads were bright-eyed, bubbly, attentive, really looking to take on the information, and I'm really, really happy with how much they've taken on from one session. If they keep learning with that aptitude and application, this is going to be a fantastic period for the football club. So couldn't thank them anymore, and we look forward to getting on the grass. But at this moment, there's not much time on there because the games are coming thick and fast, and it's big games as well. Teams in and around us, teams who you would look at and say, if we're going to get ourselves into a position of safety, we have to be picking up points against. And feeling the lads this morning, watching them train this morning, and a little bit of work that we went through, I think they're ready and raring to go. And I think they've been unlucky in recent weeks, certainly in the games that I've seen, and I think there's enormous potential for this group of players once the penny drops, to get that little bit of confidence, to get that little bit of belief, and hopefully we can get it out of them and put the kind of dark period of this part of the season behind everyone.
Clint Hill and Andy Mangan maybe arrived with you as part of your coaching staff. How useful is that for you to have people who know how you like to work on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, obviously we'll integrate with the staff that were here. It's what we did at Fleetwood. It was only me and Clint that went into Fleetwood because it was the first job we ever had. Mangs came after the year and started working with us, and obviously we had a couple of coaches, Basnick and Stephen Craney, who were already at Fleetwood when we arrived, and the same way we've got Kevin Jack here, as well as some other good coach and analytical staff. And you find your way of working together and you integrate. For me as the head coach, is that what title am I? Head coach, manager? I don't even know. I'm actually manager. I was head coach before. My kids were asking me that yesterday. They're like, are you head coach or manager?
Is that swaying too much?
As long as the players listen to me.
Is it just a title for you?
As long as the players listen to me, Yeah, it doesn't matter. One of the ground staff said to me before, what do we call you, Joe, Joey, Gaffer? I said, call what you want, as long as it's not a swear word. You're welcome to call me what you want. So it's, when I analyse how quick you can make an impact on a group, it always helps to have people with you who've, know those ideas, can put them into place, obviously know the standards that you want to upkeep, and it saves me having to coach other coaches to coach the way I want. It helps the other coaches quickly upskill, and I think everyone could see by the session we done today and the way the lads communicate and the way we want to be with the players, that that's the route map. That intensity is what we want on the coaching side, and that's what we want on the playing side as well. And I thought the players today were absolutely excellent.
Looking back over your distinguished career, how much of the playing experience have you been able to lean on as your time as a manager so far?
You realise when you stop playing how little you know about the game. I was a know-it-all, and I still am in many regards. But certainly as a player, when it came to my position on the pitch, kind of central midfield, when you've played the amount of games, me and Clinton's over 1,000 games in there, and most of them in the top tier. You find your way of working that's best for your body type, and you carry that through your career, and then you stop, come into coaching, and then you have to think about every other position on the pitch, and it's a real humbling experience because you think, wow, I played for so long with a very, very blinkered view of the game of football, and coming to the coaching side, it's every day's a school day, and coming today. My kids last night were saying, they're only 9 and 6. They're saying, are you nervous? I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit. It's like going to school on the first day. You're going to meet 50, 60 new people. You're going to a new city. You're moving away from home for the first time in a long time. You're leaving, your missus and kids in the northwest to come and be part of the football club. And it's natural that you obviously have that excitement, but also we want to do a fantastic job for the Rovers fans and obviously the football club, and you're really excited, like almost making your debut, kind of new day or new year at school kind of feeling, or new school. So yeah, really excited, really pleased to be here, and the sun's out. We've brought the sun with us from sunny Liverpool, so. Hopefully that stays for the rest of our time here.
Fingers crossed. You get your 10-year underway tomorrow against Wigan at the Mem. How much are you looking forward to hitting the ground running? Because the schedule of the next few weeks is relentless, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's League One. We all know what we get into for 46 campaigns, and played enough times in the Championship to know a 46 game schedule as opposed to a 38 Premier League. The Saturdays are a lovely experience, because as a coach you get a lot of coaching time with the players, you get a lot of information across, you can do lots of one-on-one stuff. In a 46 game schedule with 3 cup competitions in there, it's a lot more difficult, and COVID and lockdowns and everything else that everyone's having to negate. So yeah, it's not the most straightforward time for football, but it's what we've got, and we'll make the absolute best of it.
What are you expecting from Wigan? Obviously, the odds were stacked against them this season with their point deduction, but they've made a good fist of it, haven't they, for survival?
Yeah, we played them just before we left Fleetwood, and they gave us a good game. We were leading that game. They scored in stoppage time, but it was a cracking game for a side that's had a lot of disruption, to its team and its backroom and boardroom. So they've done in the circumstances fantastically well to be competing, and they were unlucky. I watched the game Saturday, Lincoln, and they were really considering where Lincoln are in the table and how well Mike Appleton's got those guys going. We can give them a right game. So look, it's going to be a very, very tough contest for us, but again, we go into it off the back of the win against Portsmouth at home. We've got to make sure that we turn the stadium into a very, very difficult place for opposition teams to go, and we did that last time out, as I say, when I watched the game at Pompey, and we must continue in that vein certainly this week with Wigan, and quick off the back of that, Shrewsbury coming at the Mem.
And finally, Rovers fans haven't been able to get to a game for the best part of a year now. What would your message be to them on your appointment?
For me, I'm absolutely honoured and privileged to be in a position of leading the football club at this moment. I was really touched by how many on social media were reaching out to me kind of Thursday, Friday, not long after the dust had settled on obviously Tiz leaving, and it tainted a little bit for me, that, because 6 weeks before that was me at Fleetwood, do you know what I mean? So I'd obviously experienced that. I know how hard it is, and Paul's a great coach, and it just didn't quite work. Seeing the Rovers fans online, asking me, and I think they were atting in Wael on his Twitter feed as well. So I was aware of it, and that momentum just grew and grew and grew. And I know with someone like myself, with kind of all that's written about me, there's going to be people who are obviously sceptical, and rightly so, naturally so. And all I ask is that they give us the opportunity to showcase and show them what we're about as football people, and put into practice stuff that will make them think a different way about maybe the appointments in the initial part. And as I say, large majority of it was really positive and overwhelming, but I did get one or two telling me that this might be the best option for me as well. Not in those words, but certainly. And I get, I'm a bit of a Marmite character, aren't I? So I get not everybody's going to really enjoy me and my outspoken ways sometimes. But one thing I do, tend to deliver is absolute dedication to the job I do. And, I think if there is some people who are a little bit sceptical, I think in a period of time, results will show that this is the right call, this is the right junction for the club, and that everybody will be, as they usually are in football, very forgetful of one opinion when it goes positive, and not the way they maybe expected it to go. And at Fleetwood, I faced similar kind of scepticism. I faced it, from the national media. I faced it all through my playing career. It's something that is part of the course for me, and I have to accept that goes with the territory. But I'm absolutely certain we can deliver on getting the Rovers fans, right behind this football club, right behind this team, and proud walking around in the city with the chest puffed out and the quarters on.